Welcome back here to Air Crash Investigator. This will be the 12th of 100 presentations where I'm reviewing actual accidents that happen to see, well, what can we learn from that and how will it make our flying a little bit safer. Today I'm going to have a look at a Cessna accident, Cessna 172. It was a hire and fly, and the gentleman who hired the aircraft actually did put in a flight plane. The flight plane was from Grand Central to Golf Alpha Victor, which I haven't got on the map here, but then up to Harry Smith. So that's in Harry Smith, no problem. This is where he got out, in the Harry Smith area there. And from Harry Smith on, there's a little bit of a, I don't know what happened now. From there, the idea was to go here to Margate. But we find that the aircraft ended up in the mountains here. So there was a little bit of a problem because the angle, and let me just get clear this, the angle between these here was 28 degrees. So it's not necessarily conceivable to think, or I can't comprehend it in any way, that the wind would have drifted him by 28 degrees and it was only a 10-knot wind. Okay, so that suggestion to me is not a good suggestion. But what probably wasn't discussed well enough was that once the pilot was on this route here, once he set heading at Harry Smith, he spoke to another person who relayed for him, and he said he's got smoke in the cockpit. Now, smoke in the cockpit doesn't mean that there's a fire. It means that, you know, it could be an electrical sort of short, and that would produce the smoke, but there's not a fire yet. They couldn't get any indication of a fire afterwards, but I'm also probably slightly disappointed that the fact that there was smoke in the cockpit was not considered from a human factors point of view, because that would seriously have distracted the pilot from his flight path. The last thing we pilots want to do is to get our aircraft on fire. I mean, we probably dread that one the most. Right, so wind from this side, this is the big angle I'm talking about, and here you can see it would have been totally clear of the mountains, and because the tops here were all closed with clouds, at some other stage the pilot started to descend and he wanted to get below there. But there was no indication, and here we can see there was no indication, the wings were level when the crash actually took place. But you can see from the area that he was flying there, that I've drawn up there, here the ground, and then the rapid rise, and that was where the crash site. Now, there's a little discrepancy with 100 meters that side, 100 meters that side, but there is the aircraft, and you can look. There was a critical rise in the ground below him. I don't think that he knew that he was over that high ground at that moment in time. All right. So, yeah, probably descending, high speed. And here we can see from the propeller that was broken off, stuck into the ground. A piece of propeller that broke off from the tip here, and well, we can also see that it's like it came to stop in a moments of time, so that would have been the case. Okay, all indications that the engine was functioning properly. They couldn't find anything wrong that indicated a fire on board, couldn't see a source where the smoke could have come from, or anything like that. Now, what I would propose here is that the wind could not have drifted the pilot from Harry Smith into that position alone. That I don't think was. So either his heading went seriously pear-shaped because he was distracted by the smoke in the cockpit, and that could be so. Helped a little bit by drift, understand that. Secondly, he could have had the wrong heading for starters. And he probably didn't do set heading procedures. And that's the one thing that I want to just bring to everybody. Set heading procedures. The moment that you turn onto your heading, you have to cross-check outside with recognizable features on the ground if, according to your map, even if it's electronic, that you're actually flying in the correct direction. You will pick up a 30-degree difference very quickly. All right. If you don't do the set heading procedures, then you're left just over to this mistake that could have been made. So you're not making a mistake now. You're just flying the mistake. All right. So that's why we've got set heading procedures. And if I can leave anything with you, is that remember, do not let the cloud, well, you cannot get into cloud. You must turn around. Where do we tow to? Back to Harry Smith. That's the place that you have last known. There's an airfield there. Go and land there. Do something. But you cannot. And somewhere in your planning, you must make the decision beforehand. What is it that you're going to do if you encounter certain negative scenarios? Well, that's it. Keep safe. Until next time.